Hey guys, welcome to Judge Jodi, Paxton Road's Premier League Player Rating show. Don't know how to feel. Don't know how to feel today. Yeah, I should be happy, but I don't really know right now. Joining me tonight to break down Leicester's performance yesterday, guys, and it was a win. It was a win. We have to remind ourselves it was a win. I've got Sam Spurs for life. How you doing?
How are we, Jodie? We good? Firstly, just to the viewers, apologies for the
Has some
kind of like
background going on.
call center headphones and mic in the background, looking like, as I said, Mari's Love Lounge. That's because I'm away from home at the present time, but it's professional. We've got to do what we got to do. So yeah, no problems.
We're kind of mirroring each other today, aren't we? We're trying to get the same vibe going on.
It's funny.
You know what's going on
Yeah.
there. But thank you for coming on. How are you? You were at the game yesterday?
Yes,
How
the
was
game. First game I got to this season. The experience of it's always great getting to the stadium. The stadium is magnificent. You walk up and it's like, it's
it?
just almost like it just goes on and on and on forever when you're walking up the steps and you're seeing the stand and everything. And yeah, the atmosphere at the start was good. Spurs didn't play too well in the first half, but obviously got the job done in the second half, which made up for it. So yes,
Yeah.
pleased.
And how do you think your ratings today are going to change your perception on certain players? Do you think?
We need wingbacks. We need wingbacks. I think you did a show something like wingbacking it or whatever you said, something like that. We need
Wingbacks be
wingbacks.
wingbacking. I mean, there was
Wingback be wingbacking.
once in this whole season of our wingback tenure with Conte, did they do a job? I think two of them got goals maybe in that episode, but yeah, that doesn't happen very often, does it? So.
No. Yeah, that was the glaring thing for me. The system itself, we don't. We'll probably get into it when we talk about the ratings anyway. But I felt that we didn't seem to be on the front foot. That looked like it was deliberately, and we gave the ball to Leicester for most of the game. I think they were on nearly 60% or whatever it was, and it looked that way. But there's a way of playing. My only concern about that way of playing. If we don't get that goal first, we've got a
Yeah,
problem.
no, that's the
We've got
thing,
a
isn't
problem.
it? Like, I'm always that tense about starting games out, and
Mm,
when we don't get that first goal in, like, and it shouldn't be that way, but
it
it
shouldn't,
is.
but it is.
Like, it's
It
very
really is.
nervy, very, very nervy. But yeah, I agree. I'm glad we got it.
But no,
Um,
the game itself, obviously, the result was what we wanted. The result afterwards with Arsenal wasn't what we wanted. But hey, we as the old Sid said, I might get a T-shirt with it on. This is the gang business one, but I might get one with one step at a time or one game at a time, shall we say?
One game at a time. That's the thing. I know. I am wearing my Spurs kit today because they won. If we didn't win, I'd be back on the Paxton Road hoodie again, probably. But yeah, I know that's the way it is at the moment. But what about Leicester? I mean, they had their second team as well, didn't they? So
Yeah, and that was the other concern for me was the way they started the game on the front foot. They were pressing
yeah,
everywhere, every opportunity they got from the front, midfield. They had opportunities on target. They had opportunities where they hit the post. Lloris made a good save, tipped one onto the post. Yeah, like I said, had they scored first, I'm not quite sure how the game would have panned. I
yeah.
think we'd have probably still won because they may have changed their approach. They may have sat back a little bit. But for a team
Mhm.
that had nothing really to play for. The team, well, the ones that they rested have obviously got a game to play next week.
Yeah,
They came out of the traps, and that's my
yeah.
little bit of a worry going into the Liverpool game.
Yep, I agree. It's just very nerve-wracking, the whole match for me. I was just sat there kind of like, oh, I don't know, see this. I mean, did you not think, obviously, and this is the thing with Spurs as well that I find is that as soon as we're winning, then we're like all guns blazing, like nothing can stop us. We're so confident. The game totally changed, didn't it? And we will get into it, but that's
Mm.
just so frustrating that we have to be winning for that to happen.
Yeah, it is. It's frustrating watching Spurs. When I was talking to Sid at the game, he said this is what it's like in terms of the, I guess, at home you expect us to be on the front for us to be the ones doing all the pressing, getting around, getting the crowd up. The crowd was very quiet for the first, I'd say, 20-25 minutes until we
Mhm.
kind of rode the storm. And then after Harry Kane's goal, then it kind of relaxed, and then you know what I mean, we saw, I guess, the better side of Tottenham. But
Yeah.
yeah, we we may have to change an approach at times, I think.
Mhm. I agree. All right. Well, I think we're ready to get into this.
Let's do
Hopefully
it. Let's do
my
it.
screens are going to start sharing today because I'm always
Oh
nervous
yes, last time it was like
now.
nerve-wracking. There were no screens. Ready? Can waffle on
Yeah,
if not.
let's do this. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Right. Let's do this. Everybody wants to know what we have to say about these guys, so let's just talk about them and
Here we go.
start rating them. It's working. It's
Here
working.
we go. Let's see
All
where we
right,
go from
here
here.
we
This
go.
is gonna be
Sean, sorry, love
interesting.
you, but you're going away. We need to see what's going on here. Hugo Lloris. All right, what are we saying? 7 and a 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I mean, do you want to go, or do you want me to defend my half a mark more? What do you?
Yeah, you defend your half first because I think it was just a standard Lloris performance. But anyway, go
Yeah.
on.
No, agree. I think for me, agree. But standard Larice performance and a 7 by any stretch of anything is not a bad performance. Is above average.
Hmm.
It's you've helped us to win the game. I think that amazing save of Daka's
Yeah,
attempted
Daka
first
save.
half was really really amazing. And I think for me, I think that's what it is. I think if he hadn't done that, I think we would be in a very different position. Like you were saying, if we weren't winning 1-0 up at 1 up at the start of the match, then it's the same situation that we have all the time with Spurs, is that we're always thinking if they'd scored that goal first, then the whole game could have changed pretty much. So I
Definitely.
think I've given him a 0.5 up because of that, because of the way that Spurs do get in their heads all the time, and if that had have gone in, then yeah, it would have been a different story potentially for us. So yeah, I've given
Yeah.
him a half an extra point just for that. But
Yeah, I think
but
I think Lloris he didn't, like you said, he made that save that tipped it onto the post from Dakar.
yeah. Hmm.
I think they only had one other shot on target. I think they had two shots on target in the whole game. Obviously, that one didn't count on target when it hits the post. Um, but yeah, he wasn't shaky. I think the last game there was a couple of shaky moments where he was kicking. He was okay. He was okay. But as I said, I don't think there was that much pressure. I want to see him. Well, I don't want to see him have a 7 or 8 for the game against Liverpool. I want him to have the same sort of average score against Liverpool. But
Mm.
as long as he's confident, I want to see a confident Lloris going into the last few games of the season.
Yeah, agree. And I mean, yeah. It's one of those things with Lloris for me is that you're like, I feel so lucky to have him as our goalie because I'm scared about what else we would have. But
Yeah.
then he does frustrate the hell out of me because you are kind of nervous all the time with him. I don't feel 120% confident with Lloris as our goalie because he does make mistakes, and yeah, it is quite. Oh.
He has, like I said, he's one of those guys. He's a real good shot stopper. When he has to make them real worldies, he does them. But then on the other side, he'll make some real calamitous ones where you're thinking, wow, how's that gone through his hands? Or he comes and flaps for starting. I just want to see more consistency for these last 4 games. He's the captain. He has to lead us with that
Yeah, but
consistency.
that's the other thing. He's the captain, and that's
Correct.
and I think sometimes well, not some all the time when I'm trying to do these rating shows and thinking about marking him, I'm also thinking about that captainness in him as
Mm.
well. So that leadership nature and looking at how he does kind of rile the team around and make sure that he's doing that. Did you notice yesterday when you were there? Um,
What I do notice about Luis, he's not he's not aggressive off his line. What I mean by that is he's not like an Allison, or he's not like the Manchester City keeper where they're way off their line when the ball's in
yeah.
the other opponent's half. So they're almost like playing sweeper keepers. He's very cautious. So as soon as the ball gets into the half, he's almost like in his 6-yard box, and then he'll
Hmm.
come to the edge of the box when the ball's further up the pitch. But you never see him like midway in his own half. He doesn't do any of that. And again, that's probably because he's not a sweeper keeper. We know that he is literally a shot stopper,
Hmm.
and now we're going to have to think about what we do with our next keeper because we've got a year left of him, and he did say obviously he'll then be
Yeah.
transitioning through. We need a sweeper keeper. We need someone who's brave and who will come off the line and just take that opportunity to be that
Hmm.
11th player on the pitch as opposed to just goalkeeper.
Do you think we've seen the end of Galini?
He ain't gonna be it. He's not gonna. He's not gonna be Spurs number one. He might be in the club for a little while, but he's not gonna be Spurs number one keeper. I don't
Do you
think he
think
will.
he'll be there next season?
If I'm honest, no, I don't.
I don't think so. I think he's too expensive for a
Yeah,
backup.
he's too expensive. I
Okay.
don't think Conte really fancies him, and I think he probably knows of him anyway from his days in Italy. And if he was,
Yeah,
he would have got
true.
some opportunities. He doesn't see. I know he's not going to get many in the league now, but before he wasn't getting many opportunities under Conte, so no, I can't see it.
I agree. A shame. I thought he was really good when I saw him come in, but anyway.
He had some nice cameos, didn't he? But the thing is, when you've got a keeper, you can't have cameos. You've got to be consistent.
No.
You know, you can't have
Mhm.
a really good game one week and then a shocking one the next week, because that's
Agree.
not going to be good. You have to be
Yeah.
consistent. So we want to see him command his box. We want to see him catch things. You don't want to see him flapping at corners and
Yeah.
leading that back line. That's what I
Yeah.
want our keeper to be like.
100%. Amandi, welcome to the show. Lovely to have you here as always. Thank you for being here.
Mondi, don't
Always
forget
here.
Man
You're
United are playing Brentford.
always
Good luck with that one.
tonight, actually. Yeah. What
Yeah.
are you doing? Oh, we've got a couple of hours there, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
we're all
fine.
right.
Where your hoodies at? Well, Amandi, if you had joined earlier in the show, I did say I'm not wearing my Paxton today because Spurs won. So Paxton Road hoodies will come out. They will come out every now and then just to mix it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are good
We
hoodies.
can't
So if
we can't
anybody
give you
wants
everything.
one.
Yeah, we can't give you everything, Mondo. You know what I mean? We've got to keep some exclusivity sometimes. You know what I mean? But yeah, anybody wants them? Don't forget to plug it, Jody. It's your show.
Right. Let's move on. We've done a little bit on already. We've got a lot to get through. Oh boy, Christian Romero.
Yay!
9 and a 9.5. Now, I will admit, when I first looked at my ratings, I actually had contemplated giving Romero a 10.
Interesting.
Because I was thinking, when do centre backs ever get 10s? Really? I mean, what do they have to do to actually get a 10? And I kind of bumped him down by half a point just because I thought, there may be some other things that he can do to get a 10. But I mean,
Mm.
honestly, yesterday's performance, Yes,
Yeah,
yesterday's
yesterday.
performance was amazing. Like, I don't really know what more he could have done. Like, he's going from strength to strength, right? Like, best performance from me in his whole Spurs career to date. Like, setting up goals, like commanding, just being aggressive, getting in there. That tackle on Sayuncu, I mean, what the hell, man? That was just insane. Like, he also helped Davies out early. I mean, Davies nearly conceded, and then Romero came out and just helped him out. Like, the guy did no wrong for me yesterday. I don't really know what he could have done more to get a 10, really. So
He was
9.5.
brilliant. He was brilliant. I understand the 9.5, and I'm going to try and justify my 9. So 9 is almost as the top mark I'm going to give. Obviously, you can give 10s, but that's really hard. The fact is,
Mhm.
I want him to still be able to have some improvement. So again,
Yeah.
looking at the level of the opposition, it was Leicester. It weren't like it's Liverpool. Now, if he plays the same way against Liverpool next week, I know we mentioned it again. I shouldn't be doing that, but I am going to say it. If he plays like that again next week, he's definitely getting a 10 from me. The fact it was a 9 and they had a goal late on, I know it wasn't on his side, it wasn't his fault. I just think there's just that little bit of extra that I think he can do. He's
Mhm.
having to cover on that right hand side as well for Emerson, which we'll get into later about that guy. But yeah, if we didn't have him, woohoo! Damn, I don't know what
Damn,
it'd be like.
I know. We can only hope for an upgrade to the rest of our centre backs in the summer. please, Daniel Levy, if you're listening.
If we had one of him on the left hand side, I'm not saying that Davis has done anything wrong, but he's not the same
Yeah,
level as Romero.
no,
If we had
no
another one
way.
of Romero on the left, we can still have Dyer in the centre, and that would be a really great
Hmm.
defensive unit.
Yep, I agree. Right, let's move on then to Dyer, shall we? Eric Dyer, sevens all
And
round. Standard 7, yeah. I mean, there's not much more. Sometimes he gets an 8 from me.
mm,
I think he played pretty well. Like, I think he was being aggressive when he needed to be. He held the back line well. I think he coped with Vardy when Vardy came on. But yeah, I don't really know what more. Like, it was a 7, like a standard 7. 7, as I've said before, is a good score. He did well. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that he did to. I don't think he was involved in, letting us get concede the goal from Leicester or anything like that. So I think, yeah, 7 from me for Dyer. But what about you? What did he look like
Yeah.
when you were there in flesh?
Again, he's what I do like about Diane. You can see this from TV anyway, but looking and seeing from live, it does make a difference. He's very much the commanding person at the back, whereas we've got
Yeah.
Romero's the aggressor. We've got Dyer, who's the one who leads everybody, and I guess we've got Ben Davies with the experience he's got, and I've got that left-hand side kind of locked off himself. So Dyer's very important. He gets everybody up to the next line, so he's always constantly talking and moving the line up. He's still got that mistake in him. He didn't make any yesterday, but there's always that, is he gonna, I don't know, mistime something or whatever it is? You always got that in your back of your. Whereas Romero, you just think this guy's going to take everybody out. The worry we've got with Romero is he might get too many yellow cards because of his aggression. But I think someone like Dyer at the back just to kind of, talk people through is really good for us to have.
Yeah, and that's the thing I really like about Dyer is his, like I've said it many times before, but his leadership skills, and I think his just his seniority kind of within the club and the team, and just being able to command members of the team as and when, because not everybody can do that. And I think Romero, as you said, like he's amazing, but he definitely does have stuff that he can improve on, and I don't think he's quite there in terms of like leading the team and leading the back line and stuff like that. So I think Dyer is definitely definitely very good at that.
Yep.
Ben Davies, 6.5. Interesting. I don't think it was I don't think it was a bad game for Davies, but I did when the game first kind of started out. Obviously, he had that mistake that Romero kind of helped fix at the beginning, but I didn't think it was the best game for Davies. I think we have seen better games from him. Like there are a few mistakes from him. It wasn't as polished as he usually is for us. But I do think that he was offering a lot going forward for us. I think he was definitely helping out kind of in that space, and he was kind of the only one in the back line kind of progressing us forward more. So kind of, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, because Leicester had quite a few opportunities in that first half, they did have some really good opportunities. And like I said, on another day with other strikers, a bit of luck, or they may have gone at least a goal up. A couple of those opportunities came on that side from that left. There was one where it went bypast Emerson, which I remember from the game. That's one of the other reasons we're not giving Romero a 10, is because like they did have opportunities to score.
Yeah,
so had
true.
they scored those goals early doors, we'd be talking a different game. Yeah, Ben Davies for me. If we get we need a better left-sided player. But he is Mr. Dependable. You can always rely on him. He's just that he's got a limitation.
100% agree. All right, let's move on. I've done it too fast. Emerson Royal. 5 and a 5.5. You want to go first, and I'll defend.
Yeah, I want to go first. No, I want to go first. This one, I definitely want to go first on this one. Right? Okay. As I said, this was the guy I wanted to watch for a long time, and at the expense of a lot of the other players, I watched Emerson for the first half, and yeah, he seems very confused about what to do. Both the wing backs seem very confused. They seem to be just running in straight lines, where he should be making some angled runs to get in the box. Doherty was doing that, and that was through coaching through Antonio. So I'm not sure what's going on in coaching, why this guy's not doing the same thing. Whether or not it's the intelligence side of things, whether or not he's not comfortable getting into I don't know. But he needs to do more, because our attacking threat down the wide areas is what we're supposed to have from a 3-4-3 system, and it's not there. We only won the game because of our players up front. It wasn't because of our wing backs. We need to be winning more games through our wing backs. His positional sense is not great. However, I'll give him the however. You can see he's well integrated with. He's like Reguilon. He looks like he's everybody's mate. He's always celebrating with people when they score. Everybody seems to be, he's Emerson. He's a good guy, whatever it is. But you need more. You need to be better quality. So hopefully, we can maybe either improve him with Conte. I'm not so sure. He might be one of the ones that goes in the summertime. And I wouldn't be. I'll be like, oh, see you later. I wouldn't be crying. I'm not crying.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know how many people know, but I wasn't that enthused about getting Emerson in.
We know,
I've
Jodi.
mentioned it to the
We
Paxton
know.
crew, but the worldwide crew, I'm not sure if anyone knows, but I was very much banking on Tomiyasu coming in, and that didn't happen for us. I know it would have been a different kind of game plan, but I think that would have maybe helped us out. Yeah, 5.5. To be honest, the guy's not got very high scores in the last, well, ever. I think maybe the week that he scored a goal, I think maybe he got a 6 or 7, maybe. But there is no bias here, so I did give him a 5.5. I think for me, it was definitely a much better performance than I've seen in recent weeks from him. But still, like, not offering much. Still not offering much. Still not offering much. I think the 5.5 I gave him because I think he was involved in the build up to Son's goal. So I think he had a little bit to do there. I don't know exactly how much, but he was involved. Defensively, I think he was okay. So defensively, he was okay.
Again, he was on the pitch. That's all I'm
You
gonna
gave
say.
him a lower score than I did. So
I
I mean,
know. That's what I'm saying. Because he turned up. He turned up. So I give him a 5 for turning up, and that's probably what he's got my 5 for, because he was part of the 11. He didn't do anything.
It was, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I don't want to. I try and judge a game on the game itself, and because I've been giving him quite low scores in the past, maybe I've like ruined my own kind of thinking there, in that I felt like he played better than he had in recent games. So I think he deserved a little bit more this week, but yeah.
When you watch like I said, when you watch even the highlights, I've seen some of the highlights. There was a couple of instances. There was one definitely early doors where it was like there was a runner inside him and the ball went around him and he was like lost. He was caught out and Romero had to save him out there. There was a tackle that Romero, because he'd lost the ball, where Romero made those 2 tackles. He made that initial one and then he made the one on Sionchu. If you look at the thing, you can see the footage. Romero's rolling on the ground somewhere because I think he either got tackled or something. Yeah, he didn't do nothing. He just runs in straight lines. He runs down. It's like, they got the lines for the grass where he's got green, light green, green, light green. He runs in the green. He don't run in the light green. He stays in green and just runs straight. I'm thinking to myself, go in the light green area. Come on, do something like that. Go at an angle. What about diagonal? This guy just runs in straight lines.
Oh, dude, you
Sorry.
need to step it up. You need to step it up. Where you going? She's nuts is saying that Rose and Walker weren't great when they first came. Give Emerson one more season. I don't know. To be honest, if we do make Champions League, I don't think we can afford to give him one more season, because I don't think. Can you imagine him in this Champions League? Maybe he'll step up more. I don't think so.
No,
But I'm just thinking.
I'm sorry. I hate to say, when you don't want to make decisions on a player that young, because he's what, 22?
He's only 21, 22. Yeah, he's very young. But we've given, like someone else said, Kulusevski's 21.
But what we've seen from Kulusevski is we've seen a consistent, and even if it was flashes, like with Bentancur, we saw when he came in immediately he had a flash. Now he's had some games where he's not played as well. But apart from the goal that he scored, there was one game, I think it was against City, where he had a decent defensive game. But apart from that, I don't remember where he's influenced the game. I don't remember where I said, oh, what a tackle that. I don't remember any of that. What a header. I don't remember any of that. He's just a number on the pitch. And for that reason, we can do better. We must be able to do better.
I agree. I'm happy to say goodbye in the summer. Right, let's move on. Oh, this.
It's not much better. I don't think this is going to be much better.
Yes.
Oh, he got 6. He got the 6 as well.
I gave him half a point more. I think he played a little bit better. Yeah. Do you want to go?
No, you go first on this one.
Me?
I'm not as hard on him.
I think it was okay. It was an okay game. I think defensively, I think he was doing okay as well, but he was able to get forward more than Emerson, and we know that anybody can get forward more than Emerson. I think even my absolute favourite regular, I mean, that's all he does is get forward more. But I think Cesc maybe is lacking confidence still, and I don't know, like maybe not, but maybe that's just my own kind of thinking. just
No, I
because of
agree.
the fact that he's not had that much playing time. Like last week was the first time he kind of came back after like 6 or 7 weeks or something like that. So
That's right.
maybe it's a confidence thing. I don't really know. I mean, he slipped over, which I was like, oh, that's what are you doing? Maybe
Yeah,
I was a bit
yeah,
worried about that. But maybe it was just the pitch. Maybe it was his boots. You can't really give a guy kind of, you can't rate him down for that,
yeah.
I guess.
No, no. One thing I can say. Sorry, I thought you go on. Let
No,
you finish.
that's fine. I mean, the only like I think he was being a bit more aggressive than he was last week. But I think I don't know. I think he needs to be more aggressive, and I think because he's so injury prone, I feel like maybe the fact that he isn't as kind of aggressive that we want him to be is because he's kind of worried about that, maybe. But that's the only
Mm.
thing I think. So
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your points on that. I think his confidence wise, maybe those injuries have made or certainly hindered his confidence in
yeah,
terms of being able to be ultra confident. Whereas Emerson, I will give him that. He seems to be quite
hmm
confident in terms of, you see him when he celebrates, he's like Region, he celebrates all the players and he's like
yeah,
everybody's mate. That's one thing. Region, sorry, Sessegnon is a more quieter character. The
hmm
injuries haven't helped him. Again, he's been talked up by Conte to say he thinks he's got a real talent, and he is talented. But I don't think we've seen enough of that talent to kind of say to ourselves, "Oh yeah, he's going to be a." I like him as a player, but I've
yeah.
not
Me
seen
too.
enough to say,
No.
"Oh yeah, ooh, I can't wait for him to get better." You know what I mean? So I
He's
don't
not
know.
he's not shown up like he did at Fulham, has he?
No,
Like, as
that's what I'm saying.
in, he was amazing. Like, I loved watching him there, and yeah, he hasn't. For me, he hasn't had any moments like that since he's been with
No.
Spurs.
And I think I think with the players around him, you've got some real senior professionals there. He's 21. I know he's not 22 till later this month. But we shouldn't be making that as an excuse. He's in Spurs have bought him for a reason. He's now playing in a position where you'd have thought as left wing back, being an attacking type of player, that would suit him down to the ground. It's
Hmm.
just not quite there. So his six was just because he wasn't quite
Yeah,
there.
and by all means, everybody, six isn't a bad score by any means. Six is like five's kind of I've always said like the leveling out kind of you just show up, and then six is kind of like you did better than that. So it's not a bad score. I don't, the guy played well with what he's up against. I feel
I think
Jeff
he's
is
got more of a ceiling of potential than Emerson,
yeah,
in my opinion.
100% a
But
very high
both
ceiling
of them,
compared to
both of them need to improve
yeah.
dramatically.
Yeah, the wing back area, we all know, like
They
it's
ain't
just
wing backing, Jody. They're
they
not
ain't
wing
they're not
backing.
wing backing these guys. Like honestly, Jeffers Spur, thank you for being here. First time I've seen you. Welcome to the courtroom, Jeffers. You said that you've just watched Ryan interview. Impressive young man. Yeah, I agree. Give him chance. Class on the ball. Saw him when Fulham played. Yeah, talented. Yeah, I agree. And I am 1,000% with you. Like I'm really excited about Cess. Like I just we haven't. I think, like I just said, we haven't seen what we saw at Fulham yet, and I, 100% think that that's because he hasn't had the opportunity since being at Spurs because he's always either injured or, Reguilon has got that spot. So, if he does get more time, then I definitely want to see him succeed. But I think it is one of those things where Conte system relies very heavily on the wing backs, and unfortunately, you have to kind of hit the ground running in this spot. So I don't
So
know.
I'll ask you a question. Do you think, because I think Reguilon may be returning to Madrid, I don't think he's number
Mm,
one in Conte's eyes. So at
yeah,
the moment, it looks like it's Sessegnon's shirt to keep. Do you think that we need to get somebody in the summer or certainly in the future
I
on the
don't
wing?
think
I think we will at some point if Reguilon goes.
um, we do, and I think I've said it like before that both wing back areas for me is definitely we definitely need upgrades because right and left is not good enough.
No,
Like we need people. There is potential talent there, but we need people right now. And for the first team, I don't think what we've got is good enough. But I don't think that in the summer we're going to have enough budget for both right and left,
agreed.
based on centre backs and strikers and maybe midfields and whatever else we
Goalkeepers
need to kind of
and
look
extra
at
subs.
the whole team.
Yeah, we got a lot of
So
work.
yeah, I think we could probably get by with the left
Okay.
if we can upgrade the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know.
But the reason I'm saying that because of the system, because it heavily relies on, well, it should rely on them players being one of the main attacking and defensive threats in the team. They they need to have cover, because to play wing back role, if you're defending a lot and attacking a lot, is hard on the physicality side anyway. So I think we're going to
Yeah,
need two quality wing backs on both sides, which needs four.
yeah.
At the moment, we've got two. We got two, and they're not very good at the moment.
But this is the
Oh
thing,
shit!
though. Like, if we get Champions League, we can't. Like, we're gone in the like. How do we? Oh, God, I can't.
Unless you're thinking of playing Ben Davis as sometimes a makeshift wing back, or you play, I don't know, someone who's not necessarily a defender as a wing back, i.e., I don't know, we've seen Son do it. He's not going to do that, obviously, but we need to sort it out. Maybe that's for another show, innit? We can do that
In
for
it.
another
All right, Matt's saying we need to hurry up. Sorry, Matt.
show. Dragging these players out.
Sorry, buddy. All right, we'll hurry up. We'll hurry up. All right, let's go.
Cheeky. We got some cheeky people in the chat, ain't we? Bloody
All
hell.
right, Pierre, sixes.
Yep.
Right, what you
Yep.
saying?
I'll be
Make a
quick on this one
snappy,
then, Matt. Go
make a
on, Matt.
snappy
He's put me
shot.
under pressure now. Flipping hell. Yeah, I watched a bit of Hotspur. He's reliable, but again, he's limited in terms of certain things. I don't think he's not the quickest around the pitch. You can see his mobility is not the best, and Bentancur seems to be covering a lot of that ground for him. But what he does have is he has that almost like that Viking quality, like that steel, that you feel like he's got a presence in there. And I think for that reason he's an important player. But again, he could be upgraded for somebody else. But yeah, standard six. He didn't really do too much wrong, but I think they were under a lot of pressure in that midfield early doors, which is the reason why I've given that six, because they didn't seem to be able to cope initially, but then it got sorted out.
Yep, agree. I actually, I don't know. I actually think Hotspur was one of the only ones kind of doing stuff in that first half. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I kind of thought. But
He looks busy. He
he
always
looks.
looks busy.
He's always
Don't get me
busy.
wrong. He always looks busy, but he's doing all of this. Sometimes he's pointing and this, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, hold on. I remember Sissoko doing something similar, and he was, trying to get away with doing, getting other people to do his job. It's not quite as
Mhm.
bad with Hotspur, but he still does a lot of that traffic directing.
Yeah, he does. I think I think it was a good performance. I think there are a couple of misplaced passes, but that's kind of always the way with Hojbjerg. But it's not that's not really what like we rely on him for that whole kind of, like you said, Vikingness and being in the middle and kind of getting stuck in and kind of
Mm.
just making sure that we don't concede goals and stuff like that. So yeah, solid display from me. A six. Nothing more to really add. Let's move on.
Let's move on. We're under pressure. We're under pressure here now.
Under pressure. Rodrigo Bentancur, 6 and a 6.5. Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I watched again. He's got some flashes. He's definitely a player that will need to be consistent. I don't think he's helped sometimes by only having two in midfield, and certainly
Yeah,
with I think if he had another player similar to Bentancur, which is why I'm hoping that when Skip comes back, it might be those two, they could prove to be really dynamic, because I think they can both get around the pitch. The problem he's having to do a lot of the. I see him. He started some of the pressing when we weren't pressing at all, and he's coming from
mm,
midfield to go into the front areas to press. And I'm thinking, why is this guy having to do that? But he seems to want to do that. But again, like yesterday, he gave a ball away a few times. He got caught
yeah.
out a couple of times, and it wasn't his best performance that I've seen. So standard six for yeah, being
Yeah,
on a
I mean,
winning team.
I thought it. Yeah, okay, well, maybe because you were there, you saw other things. For me, like I thought
Oh
it
yeah,
was better. I thought it was better than what he'd had in recent games, like the last couple of games, because I didn't think he'd played that well last couple of games. So for me, I thought he was kind of playing better, but that was kind of what I saw. I wasn't there. I didn't have the
yeah.
luxury of like seeing him. So I think he was putting up like a massive fight in the middle for us.
He
Um,
does. You're right, Jody. He
yeah,
leads that pressing fight when we weren't pressing. He
yeah.
does seem to start that.
Like 4 tackles as well. Like he's getting stuck in. I think my problem with Bentancur is his yellows. I think who was it? James from Spurs Related was on here once, and he was saying to me like, "Oh, you got a thing with yellows, don't you?" Yes. I'm a judge. You can't be doing stuff like that. I don't have a problem with people getting yellow cards, but I think this is like the third match now that he's got a yellow card, and I think we just need to be careful because we don't have a lot of choice in the midfield. And if he was to like go and pick up a second yellow in a game, get a red card, and be out, like I'm just worried about that. So that's kind of my thing is that he needs to be a little bit careful. Just make sure you don't put us into
It's
a troubling position.
it's a really fine balance because with the midfielder, particularly in the midfield of two, you want them
Yeah,
to be
you
ball
have
winning,
to.
you want them to be aggressive. It's a fine balance. I get what you're saying, but I'd rather him show that than be pulling out of tackles and not, being that person. I've seen Winks in that area, kind of not going full
Yeah,
force,
oh yeah.
not really, going like he wants to
Mhm.
make those sort of tackles. At least this guy, he
I
shows
don't think Winks
passion.
wants. Sorry, Sean, but I don't think Winks wants to get touched by the. I think Winks is kind of quite delicate. I think that Winks is quite delicate. That's all I have to say on the matter. Sorry, Sean. He doesn't like to tackle much. But anyway, we're not talking about Winks. We're talking about
Yes. And this comment here from, was it?
Born to Lose
Born to
73.
Lose 73, yeah.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to because I
looking
think
forward
they
to see
will
it coming
definitely
back.
complement each
Do
other.
we have a date on that? Yeah, do we know?
It'll be next season now. He's had an
Yeah, that's what I
operation
thought.
and he's out for the season.
Oh, guys. Shawnee, worried that Rodrigo is playing through pain. He seems to be wincing. Yeah, well, he might be still injured as well, isn't it? So it's not good.
Yeah, I think he's having to play through. But again, a lot of players do. Most players are never 100% fit, but he might be having to play through a knock, which we don't know how serious. So he could have, maybe if he had a couple of games rest, it'd be great, but we can't afford for him to have a couple of games rest now.
I
So he's going to have to
can't.
play.
He needs to play. Sorry, mate. 4 or 5 games left. You gotta suck it up.
Get them ibuprofen out, son. Get them ibuprofen out. That's what
Yeah.
you need.
All right, let's move on to Mora. 5.5 and a 5.
I gave him more. I gave him more than you, and I was thinking
You
I was
did.
not doing him.
You did. What are you saying about Mora? I'm gonna let you go first this time.
Oof. I would have given him lower. I just thought maybe I'm being sentimental with Lucas more than anything else. He's not been great. He didn't do anything of note. He does what Mora does. He's got his headless chicken type approach where he's running at players and they don't know what he's going to do. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Sometimes it comes off, other times it doesn't. He doesn't really ever look a goal for it. I don't, the couple of times early in the season when he played a couple of through balls, I remember him doing that, but that was early in the season. That seems to have lost. He seems like a player that now it's almost like, when you've got a dog, you need to put him down, but you don't want to because it's your favorite dog.
I don't
That's how I
want
feel
to put a
about
dog
Lucas
down.
Moura. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about Lucas Moura. Thank you for the
No.
memory,
Oh
but it's
dear.
time. It's
Oh
just
dear.
time now.
And then
That
Sean's
sounds
talking
bad.
about Mora. We all know how you feel about Lucas Moura, Sean, so don't worry about it. Honestly, I was actually going to give him a 4.5, and then I sat back and I watched the game, and I was like, did he do anything? Like a 5 is, like I said, a leveling out kind of thing. Like you haven't done anything to kind of cost the game, but you haven't done anything to win the game. It's just showing up. And I thought, like, he didn't do anything to cost the game other than the fact that he didn't do anything to win the game. Like,
Mm,
so yeah, 4.5 to a 5 was kind of my thinking with Lucas yesterday.
mm,
I think, like, let's be fair to the guy. Like, he hasn't had a proper game since like February or sometime. I can't remember the last time he had like a full game for us. So he's pretty much been sat on the bench getting like 5 minutes every game in the last couple of months. So he hasn't really had much playing time. I think he had 2 shots. So, like, I'll give him that. Like, he had 2 shots, but nothing came
what,
of it
2 shots of what?
again.
Vodka? Tequila?
Probably.
I don't remember them shots.
Well, that's what the stats say, and I did look.
Ah,
I did look him. Yeah, I don't know.
nothing threatened the goalkeeper. I don't know what he does.
Nothing
Anyway,
but
sorry.
the goalkeeper. Exactly. So Do you think we will see him again next season?
Nah, I think with Lucas Moura, it's now or never. He's getting to this. It's almost getting to a Lamella situation with him, not because of his injury record or nothing like that, but just because I just don't think we're going to see anything more from him. We know what we've got. We've had him for a number of years. We've seen what he does. He could probably go to a team now. We could probably get some money for him because he's just that 30. I think he's 30 now, 29, 30, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
So if we don't move him on now, then we may as well just keep him. And then he's going to be another player that we've got in the ranks that, yeah, is not good enough for us to really make that difference. So sentiment aside, thank you for Ajax. Thank you for all that. We cannot thank you any more than that, because without you, we wouldn't have had that experience. But now, as I said, it's time. He's not a Labrador, I know, but it's time now. It's time. Just being truthful.
Yeah, that's your opinion. A view from the South Stand, you're saying how's Royal getting the same rating as Moura? Moura was not great. I think I gave Royal a 5.5, and I gave Moura Emerson a 5.5 and Moura a 5. So I don't know if you're talking about me or Sam, but I gave Emerson a higher score.
Yeah, I give him the 0.5 extra for sentiment reasons. That's the reason why he got the 0.5.
Well, there's
He
no
would have got a 5.
bias, Sam. You know this.
I know.
How many times have you been? No
And I know,
bias.
so now I check back and I think I should have given him a 4.5, if I'm honest with you. A 4.5.
Right. I think this bad boy needs to come out with you. You need to order in the court here. We need to, no bias. So we're going to retract and redact all of this stuff. And
So to the viewers, I apologise. It should have been a 4.5, but I've just, Lucas Moura. I do like him, but
he loves him. And Sean gave the ball away, failed to chase it back. Well, we know how you feel about Moura, so we're not even going to.
What's that league quality? Oh, jeez, Sean.
All right, we need to move on.
Yes.
All right, who are we going for? Sonny boy, young man Son, a 9 and an 8.5. To be honest, it wasn't the greatest game for Son, but he did get 2 goals and an assist. So I think for me, that warranted a high score. So I gave him a 9. I think also, what a set piece. Like, I think he set that up so well. I think the way that I always enjoy Son set pieces. I think they're amazing. And I don't think he's got enough credit for that this season. I think he's been doing really well with those. The way he set that up, and for Kane to come in and get that in, I was very, very happy about that. But yeah, I mean, the way he got the second goal was amazing as well. He got an assist. I don't really think I was going to say I don't think there's much more he could have done. He could have done a lot more, to be honest. Son has been a lot more aggressive in certain games. And I think he was another one of the players that I witnessed that only when we were winning did he kind of come about himself and become more confident and kind of start doing kind of stuff that we wanted him to see. So I think the whole team need to really work on that thing of playing the way that they're playing the whole game and not just doing it when we're winning. But yeah, I gave him a 9.
Yeah. So. I would have, 9's probably a score I should have given him. I expect a little bit, and it sounds strange when Son assists 2 goals. It sounds a bit strange saying he should have been able to do more. But that first half, he wasn't fabulous. Apart from the corner, he wasn't fabulous. And I expect a lot more of Son. Again, it seems to be that there's no pressing from the front, but when he does press, he's quite good at it because he's quite quick around and get into players. Defensively, he gets a little bit out of position from corners. We've seen that in the past, but Son is a winner, a game winner, a match changing game winner. So we need him. And I know if he plays half a point more than this score that I've given him, we're going to have a real serious game. So he's just more from him.
100% agree. Right, moving on. Harry Kane.
Yep.
7s all round. Yeah. Not great. Not bad. Not bad, but not great. Not the best game I've ever seen like home play. No, I don't think there was any urgency. And I think back to your point about Son, and I think the whole team really in the first half, it was just, yeah, no urgency, no, it just looked like no desire to kind of be there, playing up against a second Leicester team. It was very frustrating kind of watching them in that first half, especially before we'd kind of got goals in. But I think that goal definitely was needed, and it was amazing. Like, what was that? The first corner
First
goal
corner
had in
goal.
like the whole season.
It feels like the
I'm
first corner
laughing,
goal
but
in
I'm
about
crying.
10 years. We don't score from corners.
Yeah, it's not good. We need to really upgrade on that, like, next season, definitely. I don't know if we need to get a set piece coach in. I mean, if we don't have one already, we definitely need to get one in, because that's definitely an area that we need to freaking be upgrading on.
Mm.
But I was so happy to see that, like, finally getting like a goal from that. But yeah, I mean, he had 3 shots on target as well, which I think has been better. Like the last few games. Well, what was it? The last game we had no shots on
We
target.
had no shots. Last
So,
2 games, I think it was no shots on target
mm,
before that.
so yeah, looks. I mean, that's the thing. It's the inconsistency, isn't it? It's a frustrating thing. Is that
Yeah. No, I'll be quick, okay? And I'm not. I've got. I think we need this player to take games by scruff of the neck. We need this player to win games for us. Remember, we were playing against Leicester, who didn't have their first team out. A
yeah,
lot of players missing, and it wasn't like Kane was like knocking and banging goals, or sorry, at least
no,
having attempts from all over the place, and the keeper's having to make worldies. He got his goal from that set piece. But the other 2 attempts, I don't really even remember them. As I said, he's doing a lot in the team. He's coming back into midfield, and
yeah.
that's what you can see when you see it live. You can see how deep
Mhm.
he plays at times, and when we then break on a counter attack, there's
But
only
even
Kulishevsky and Son.
But even he was given so much space yesterday as well, and he didn't do
Yeah,
much with it. Like, what was happening there? Like, I think that whole front area, like, they had so much space to do whatever they wanted, which was quite strange. Because did you not think that Leicester should have really been watching our way of play and what we do? And I feel like they didn't. They hadn't
but what
watched
it
that.
no, but what it was, Jody, in the first, like I said, the first half of the game, particularly before we scored, Leicester were very dominant. They were very
Mm,
dominant, and they had the midfield covered, and he wasn't getting as much space. But when we scored the goal, when he scored the header, they
yeah,
had to
true.
change their way. So he was getting more
Mm,
space. And this is why I was thinking he should have got more goals from it. Son did, because you see not
mm,
from his opportunities. I think we just we have to Liverpool game coming up. We want to
oh,
see it. I want to see him win the game for us. Win the game for us. Do
mhm,
it. Come
mhm.
on, Harry. We need you.
Come on, Harry. Come on, Harry.
But yeah, good performance. Not fantastic. He's got his goals. That's got over that hurdle of not scoring in the last 4 or 5 games, whatever it is. So let's see.
Right, moving on to our subs. Dejan Kulusevski, 8 all round. What did you think about him not starting yesterday? Were you okay with that, or
I was okay with it because I think I knew the reasons for it. It was a
yeah,
and it worked because it seemed like a bit of a kick up the arse
yeah,
sort of thing.
100,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I know you're a really good player, but you've just
yeah,
joined the club. You've had a couple of games where you've not played at your best. Let me just
yeah,
put Lucas Moura in to
yeah,
see what your reaction's like. And
yeah,
this is exactly the type of
hmm,
player that we need at Spurs. His reaction to being
yeah,
dropped was not when I come on, oh, I've been dropped and I'm not gonna.
yeah,
He won the game for us.
yeah,
He won the game for us, pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah,
That's what you want. So yeah,
yeah,
well done Conte for that. Well done Dijan for showing your true colours, because that's what you want to see from a player that's young and talented. That he and
hmm.
he's what he did, that skill on the side, like, oh yeah, that alone
That's
was
good
worth
to know.
worth the price.
Yeah, yeah. Were you sat near him when you saw that, or on the other
No,
side?
so it was kind of we was what because where we could see was the north stand, sorry, the south stand,
Hmm.
behind the goal and the north end. But he was on the right hand side, but we could see it clearly. And I was thinking, how's he gonna get out of this? And everybody was like, oh! I was like, oh, ah! But it was wicked,
Oh,
wicked.
nah, I think you've covered it for me. Like, I didn't expect to see him start, and he didn't start because of
Mm.
the way he'd been playing, and so I wasn't surprised. But, like, yeah, I was really happy with the way that he showed up after he came on, and yeah, like you said, won the game for us, I think. So come on, Decky, we love you, bro. We need you. Stephen Bergwijn. 6
Yeah,
and a
I'm gonna be
5.
generous. Yeah, I might be generous.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing there with your 6. It's like,
Again, I remember now the sentiment thing. You've got to take that out. I apologise again. Should be 5. Should be 5.
yeah, 5. I mean, he didn't have time. He had 8 minutes. I was nearly going to give him an NA, but I feel like I get in trouble when I give players NAs.
That's why I didn't give him an NA. But I gave him too
Yeah,
high
it
score.
was an NA, and then I thought, you know what, you get a 5 because you showed up and you had 3 touches of the ball, and I would have liked to seen him. Like, I don't think anyone else has, that has seen the show. Like, I would have preferred him to start over Mora. Don't want to get into that debate, but maybe, and I'm thinking maybe after watching yesterday, I don't know if Bergwijn is that good at defending. So maybe I don't know. He's good at strike. He's a massive up front, and he can like help us win the game by scoring goals. But defensively, I don't know if he's all there, and potentially that might be a risk factor because I think when he came on, we did concede the goal, and I don't necessarily think that was Bergwijn's fault. But anyway, I'm just putting it out there.
I agree. I don't think he wants to. He doesn't want to be a defensive forward. You've got these forwards who, in our system, both Son and Kulusevski have to get back into that 5-4-1 shape and be rigid in their defending. And Kulusevski, we can see do it. Son, we can see do it, and obviously we know what Kane does. I think Bergwijn, and the rumor obviously is that Conte's asked him to play wing back. I don't know how true that is, and he's refused. I don't think he's going to be here next season. I hope he is,
I
because I
hope
think
so.
it'd be a real mistake for us to get rid of
Yeah,
a player, because I think he's got real
I
talent,
do.
and that's why I've given him that extra point. He should have been a 5 because he didn't do much, didn't have time to do much, and you can see
Yeah.
in his body language he's like, what would you want me to do? What, I'm coming on the pitch of 8 minutes. What do you want me to do?
I know. I
Can't
agree.
expect him to do the same thing he did against Leicester all the time
Yeah.
if you bring it on for that amount of time. So we'll see.
Yeah. Shawnee, Bergwijn over more all day and twice on a bank holiday. Yeah, we all know that. We all know how you feel about that. And then let's go on to your favourite, Sean, Harry Winks.
Let's see what I put. I forgot what I put for this one.
Let's find that comment. I think 6.
What?
Yeah.
What was I
If you
think
go
I
back
gave,
and read, you did give him a 6.
what was I doing?
I was questioning that. He had 8 minutes. He had 4 touches. I don't know. Maybe you were also being kind.
I'm not sure what I did with this one. I think I maybe have given my 6s for the 2 players that came on as subs because they had a little. They didn't even have that much time.
I'd
I
like to
don't
know.
know. I think I got caught up in the fact that we won the game. Had we not won the game, it might have been very different, and they would have not got any scores. But we won the game, and that maybe clouded my judgment. That's a definite 5. Definite 5. We didn't have time to do anything.
Yeah, it's a 5. I think it's just showing up. It's 8 minutes. Yeah, it was going to be an NA, and I felt bad about that. So you get to
Yeah.
5.
I'm learning on the job with these bloody numbers now, innit? Shit. I'm learning on the job.
All right. We are moving on to crime of the week. This week we had no nominations. Actually, I didn't get anything, so it's an open floor. It's an open floor.
Okay.
Open forum and open floor. I want to ask you. You were at the game, so did you see anything yesterday, or is there anything that came up
Oh,
during the week in
yeah.
terms of Tottenham Hotspur that maybe deserves a bit of a lockup from you?
No, I'm going to talk about the referee. What's his name? John Moss. Is it John Moss?
Oh,
That little
I think
Teletubby.
so.
I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. He can't run. He's retiring anyway, and he can't keep up with play. But every time he was giving them things, and every time it was like, well, how could you see that from there? You can't even keep up with play, John. That's how far by you. But no, this their free kick. Nothing for us. And then as soon as he give us one, the crowd's like, yeah, the old thing. Way, John. But he was shocking. It was shocking. I don't know what the refereeing is at the moment, but it's not good.
It's not good.
So
No.
that's my crime of the week. John
Referee.
Moss. Keep up with play, you Teletubby.
I think I'm going. I think I'm going to have a late nomination for Harry Winks here, based on Sean's. He thinks he might have been at fault for the goal. And if that's the case, Sean, then he gets locked up for that because I wanted to keep a clean sheet for my fantasy team.
I didn't.
Dire in defence, and could get that 6 points in. But Tottenham
No,
Hotspur.
we missed. I'll be honest, we missed the goal because we just got out just before, and then we heard it. But it was them that scored, so we weren't that bothered. But we would have liked to have kept the clean sheet, but
It
I
would have
didn't
been
realise
nice.
it was Winks. Didn't realise it was
I
Winks.
don't know. I'll have to go back and watch that again. I don't know.
Okay.
Tottenham Hotspur for trying to charge full price for a terminal fan. I didn't know that. It's not good.
Must be a
Go and look
semi-ill
into
fan you
that.
must be talking about.
It's not nice, but yeah, we'll look into that, Sean. Thank you for raising that because I was not sure of that and I did not know about that. But that is not good at all. I think I was going to ask you about the food and beverage pricing at Spurs. Was that?
You know what? I
Was
didn't
it
even buy
okay?
anything. I didn't buy anything there because, like I said, I got there. I didn't want anything at half time, but I'd already eaten before I got because the kickoff was at 2 o'clock. So I thought, I need to get something before I go to the ground
Mm,
anyway. But I saw people. It's not. They could be selling it at £1,000 a burger. The amount of people that were still buying stuff is incredible. They're selling stuff. It's madness. But I know it's not cheap. But I didn't buy anything this time because I weren't hungry at the time.
mm,
And it's queues when you come at half time. It's like, oh bloody, I can't wait in
yeah,
that
it's not
queue,
worth
bro.
it, is it?
Can't be
It's not worth
bothered.
it. It's not
Can't be
worth
bothered.
it. Richard Evans, Arsenal got Champions League football sewn up, in my opinion. I mean,
What's
we
your
don't know.
thought?
We don't
What?
know.
What do you think? What are you feeling? Because I can tell you what I'm feeling. It
Uh,
all depends on this weekend. If
mm,
Arsenal win their game, I think it's done. If they
they're
draw or
playing
lose,
who again?
oh God,
Let's have a look. It's an easier one than we've got. I know
yeah,
that.
it's a
I
home
know that
game
much. Let's have a look. What do they got?
because it's.
What do they got? What do they
I'll
got?
tell you in a minute
Arsenal
as
are
well.
playing Leeds. Yeah, Leeds. So
So
very,
Leeds are in a
very,
fight. Leeds are in a fight, but
very
it's at the Emirates.
easy. It's
You think?
very easy. I mean, there's no Patrick Bamford. He's out. I think if Paddy B was there, it might be hard because sometimes I find Leeds very. It's a very difficult game. I feel sometimes with Leeds, but I think without Patrick Bamford there, I feel like it. Have you seen them this
Mm.
season? They've not been showing up.
With
Like,
well, that's why they were in the position they are. But they were missing what's his name, that Calvin Phillips for a long time. He's now back. I think
yeah,
he'll make a difference to them. I just think if they need to win, or they certainly don't need to lose because they're in a relegation battle. So Arsenal
yeah,
have got
exactly.
obviously the games that they've got, and we'll just check on them. They've got Leeds next, then they've got us, then I think they've got Everton.
hmm So they've got it easy, right? Then.
But those teams, what I'm saying is those teams are battling where we should be battling for top four, and those other teams are battling
But
to
yeah, I
survive.
guess that's
And
the thing.
Newcastle away. That's the
You
other
don't
game they've got.
know.
Newcastle away.
Yeah, so it's all kind of lower level teams, but they're all the
Mm.
ones that are trying to like they're going to put up a fight, right? Because they want to make sure they don't get relegated. So it's true. Like we don't really know what's going to happen.
In my opinion, if they beat Leeds this weekend and we don't win against Liverpool, I think it is done personally because it's going to be very hard to get those points back because they can play for draws. You know, when you're playing for a draw, I know it's dangerous, but they don't have to win against us. Do you know what I mean? I want them to have to come out and win against us.
Mm.
We'll see.
That was going to be my next question about what are your thoughts on Liverpool? So obviously we've got Liverpool late kickoff Saturday
Saturday.
the
Yeah,
7th,
yeah.
7:45 p.m. Do you think we have do you think we're going to win that game? Because I think for me the
Okay.
best we can hope for is a draw. Is my
Right. Okay. I think this is probably as good a chance to beat Liverpool as we're gonna get. Facts because they're playing Real Madrid. Is it Real Madrid? No, not Real Madrid. Who have they got? Champions League semi-final, which is this week. Oh my god, I've forgotten who they're playing. Anyway, they've got Champions League game on Tuesday, second leg of their semi-final, and they're 2-0 up against who are they playing? Oh, Jade, I'm gonna have to look it up whilst because I can't do this. I need to have my facts at hand. I'll soon tell you.
is it Inter
Anyway,
Milan?
no, it's not
No,
Inter.
it's not
I've
Inter.
got to forget what that is. Anyway, so yeah, I think because of that fact they've got
Villarreal.
the game
It's Villarreal.
Villarreal, Villarreal, that's right. And I don't think it's going to be straightforward as people think against Villarreal. So they're going to need to play some of their players on Tuesday. But if they sew that game up quite early, then yeah, we're really going to struggle. But the fact that I've seen how we play in this 5-4-1 shape, we drop back into a shape, we let the other team have the ball, counter attack because Liverpool play a high line. I can see it either being potentially a draw or even, dare I say it, a Spurs win at Anfield.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I
say
just
it.
feel
I'm gonna say
I
it.
just feel like they have such a stacked squad at the moment. And they have so many, like their bench depth is incredible. Like they can bring anyone on. So it doesn't matter if they're going to be playing their second team or their first team or whatever they're going to be doing. I feel like I am scared. I think for me, the only thing I am confident about is that I know that we do show up against them. Like last time we played them, like we drew. And I know that like the likes of Harry Kane, Son, hopefully all the players are going to actually show up, because this is a game that, like, same as like when we play Man City, right? They want to be playing these games. They want to be winning against these teams, because like they don't want to be going and playing like a Burnley on a Tuesday night. They want to be going and playing like a Liverpool, beating these guys and kind of showing them who they are. So yeah,
And
that's the only thing I can.
for me, to be fair, this Conte likes these challenges as a manager. I'm not sure about the players,
Mm.
but him as a manager, because he puts himself up there with the likes of Pep and Klopp anyway. He sees himself on that level, and he should do, because he's won Champions League. He's won championships in various countries, so he has that gravitas to be able to say, yeah, the way we play and the way that Liverpool play is ideal. It's meshed for us because of the high line as talked about. They leave 2-on-2 at the back. If we can get it right, and as I said, it's all about that goal. If we can get the first goal and just somehow maybe nick a couple off the counter attack, we can do it. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. And I probably shouldn't be asking you this because I've locked you up in the past for this, but any score predictions?
No, I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. You're not going to throw that bait at me and let myself hang myself and then put me in jail. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But I think we
Yeah,
can win.
I'm
I think we
not
can win. Wait till the
gonna.
preview show. I'll do it on the preview show.
Okay. Oh, I just hope. Yeah, I don't know. I can't
We have
even.
to.
I'm
Listen,
with. We have to. I know we do, but I'm scared.
we have to have the hope, because Arsenal, when we looked, and I keep going back to them, when they were going into the games against Chelsea, Manchester United, and then obviously the game that they played at the weekend as well, West Ham, I definitely said they can't get 9 points out of all them games. Surely, even if they won two, they're going to drop two. They didn't. So
Hmm.
they're as much struggling in terms of injuries and all the rest of it. They're under as much pressure
Yeah,
as us.
yeah. No, I
Got to
agree.
perform. Got to perform. We've just got to get
Yeah.
it right and have everything lined up. We've got the team to do it, and we've got the staff
And
to do it.
I think the thing is as well, like we've spoken about them playing like Arsenal playing Leeds, and we've spoken about them playing, whoever. But at the end of the day, they've been inconsistent and they've won games that they shouldn't have won, but they will also lose games that they should be winning. So
Correct.
I think it's very much gonna like go to the end of the season. I think it's gonna be
It
right
will.
up to the last minute. It's gonna be very nerve-wracking for Spurs fans.
We have to hope that by the last game of the season, we still have the opportunity that if they don't, because remember they're playing Everton last game of the season and we're playing Norwich. Our game's away, their game's at home. Now Everton aren't going to be out of any sort of fight until that last game of the season. So hopefully teams that we're both playing are going to need to come out and at least try and win, and hope that their fortune aren't as good as ours. But I don't know. Who knows?
Who
Bloody
knows? You just
football.
got to think about one game at a time. Think about what Sid says, and that's just
One game.
one game at a time. It's very stressful. Right. Sam, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's so lovely to have you here again, as always.
You like my set.
Giving your background is amazing. It's very I'm a bit like I feel like I need some mood lighting.
That's what I got. This light is good in this room. It's brilliant. I
It's
like
not
it.
bad. It's not bad.
A little picture in the background as well. Artistically put, you see? Right
Very, very good. You're gonna have to do that all the time now.
there. Nice one. No, it's been
Um,
great. Thank you.
Thank you to all the people we've had on tonight. We've got, I think, 28 of you at the moment. So thank you so, so much for being here. Really, really appreciate everybody's watching and being involved in like the ratings of the show. So I'm going to give a shout out to everybody. We had Sean Hurl, we had NS Sports. I think that's you, Nipan. Thank you for being here again, buddy. We had Amandi. Always a pleasure, Amandi. We love seeing you here. Good luck tonight or not.
Who cares about them anyway? They're done.
Who else have we got here? We got Juice Nuts.
Careful.
Sam loves saying that one. Who else have we got? We got Jeff Spur. We had Matt Kelly. Matt wanted us to hurry up, so hopefully you'll be back, Matt. Sorry, we were being a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit different to some of the rating shows. We do like to have a little bit of a conversation and a little bit of a, talk about the real facts in the courtroom here. Born to Lose 73. Lovely to see you again. A View from the South Stand. We had Richard Evans, Paddy Harnett. We had Aaron, sorry. Aaron Dub. I can't say your surname.
That's butchered.
Aaron,
You've been butchered, Aaron.
I do love seeing you, Aaron, and thank you very much for being here. Always. Phil Ambrose. We've got John Fernandez. And that's it. But thank you everyone so much for being here. Like, honestly, I really appreciate all the comments and stuff. Like, we can't get by without you, and we enjoy everything that you guys have to say. You guys are part of the jury in this courtroom, so we really appreciate all the comments and all of the your ratings and stuff as well. It's really important. Sam, I don't know if you have anything to promote this week. I know there was a competition this week. Did you want to announce a winner at all for one of the competitions?
Yes, the winner was announced on Twitter, and I'm going to tell you, Sid's announced his winner on his. Just tell you who it was that won, because I can't remember. Congratulations to
drum roll.
Laurie Pisaki. Lorette's her name. So it's at Laurie Pisaki. But she's been sent details, and she has won a hoodie. And there'll be other competitions for you guys to win hoodies as well. And you should be also putting on your show that you can win a hoodie as well. So you do what
you can. Yeah, we'll be having competitions definitely for winning hoodies. They're pretty cool hoodies, actually. I know it's summer. I know summer's coming up.
Hoodies all summer.
In the UK, we can never be sure of the weather. So I'm rocking a hoodie in the summertime, and I'm sure
hoodies all summer, definitely.
People will be rocking them in the summer.
I tell you what, if I didn't have that hoodie at the game yesterday, I would have been in trouble. I just had the Spurs shirt on, and then it started to get a little bit breezy, and I was like, oh, the hoodie came in nice and neat. So that's one thing. You can take the hoodies to the game, people.
There you go. You can, and people will see you and be like, hey, you part of the Paxton family? Yes, you are. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this week's show. I am actually traveling to Australia this week, just to give everybody a little heads up. I'm not going to be, potentially I will be around. I'm not sure. The time difference is very, very, it's about 10 or 11 hours at the moment. So I don't even know if I'm even going to be able to watch the games live. I'm trying to work all of that out at the moment, but just wanted to give everybody a little bit of heads up. I will be traveling, so hopefully I will see you next week. I really appreciate everybody's comments and everything. We love you guys here at Paxton Road, and we just really want to make sure that you guys are happy, getting the content that you want. And please, if you haven't already done so, like the show, and subscribe to Paxton Road if you're new.
Fabulous.
We've got lots of content coming your way very soon.
Can I do a quick plug for our shows this week?
Go for it.
So Talking Points is going to be Wednesday this week, slightly different day. Just for Champions League. Well, Champions League on the Tuesday. I don't want to watch that, but also traveling as well. So that will be Stevie B, The Curious Case of Stevie B. We're going to have to talk about that. And then on Friday or Thursday, maybe Thursday, I think, potentially, we'll do the preview show for the Liverpool game, and then obviously review for Liverpool on Saturday. So lots to come.
Very scared. I'm very scared. Juice Nuts wants to know where she can buy the hoodies. I don't know, Juice.
Juice Nuts. Again, got to be careful. Juice, are you? we'll need to find out if you're available on Twitter or some form of messaging, Instagram, whatever it is, and then
get in contact with either me or Sam. And
one of us two. We'll definitely let you know. The shop is coming merchandise, but we haven't got that quite sorted out yet to be able to click on links. But if you come to us directly through Twitter, Instagram, or wherever we can find us on social media, we will get back to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you so much for being with me on a bank holiday. And thank you, Sam, again, as always. Lovely to have you here with your mood lighting and everything. But yeah, as always, come on you Spurs, and let's just really hope
Oh
and pray
dear.
that we can do one against Liverpool. Come on you
Yeah.
Spurs.